Welcome, YouTubers, sports fans across the nation. This your boy Turtle with the Uneducated Network, and this is my show. So, you think you know sports?
Let me hear your answer. Think you better than foes? Think you don't know? Think you don't know? So you think you 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 know sports? So you think you know? So you think you know sports? So you think you know? Okay.
Welcome back, sports fans. It's your boy Turtle with the Uneducated Network. And it's been a lot of stuff happening on that NBA wire. So I figured I'd bring y'all a little bit of free agency. And I got my notes for y'all, okay? So we're going to start right off with it. Chris Paul traded to the Rockets. That's big time. I mean, I don't really understand it, to be honest with you, because you got a guy in James Harden. You changed his position to be the primary ball handler. Chris Paul is known as a primary ball handler. It's kind of like, okay, I don't know about that one. We'll wait and see. That's a wait and see. That could be behind the scenes stuff going on. To follow that one up, Blake Griffin was signed to a 5-year deal with the Los Angeles Clippers. So they was able to retain Blake. Even though they let go of Chris, so they're still able to build on it. And they also got Patrick Beverly, Lou Williams, and a couple other guys in that trade with Chris Paul. So it was still big time for them. That's still a big time move for them. Then you got Paul George was traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. I don't know how to say his name. It's okay, but so Paul George going to team up with Westbrook. That's big time right there. Trust me, that's big time. Westbrook actually got a star with him now. So now he got somebody that he can dish that ball to. They got Adams. They got a bunch of good players over there too. And I think they signed a couple more guys too. They still hitting that waiver wire pretty hard. That free agent wire pretty hard, shall I say. Tony Snell agreed to a $46 million deal with the Bucks. Jeff Teague agreed to a 3-year deal, $57 million with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So that's a good deal. That's a good pickup for Teague, for both of them. That's a win-win. They just got rid of Rubio, so that's a pickup for them. They needed another guard in there. Patty Mills just also agreed to a 3-year, $57 million deal with the Spurs. So they retain Patty Mills. Shaun Livingston agreed to a 3-year deal, $24 million with Golden State. Steph Curry agreed to a 5-year, $201 million deal. Obviously, that's a record. They set a record for that one. Obviously, they big time on that. Jrue Holiday agreed to 5-year, $126 million. Back with New Orleans, so he's gonna retain, come back to New Orleans. He's gonna be going back to New Orleans. David West agreed to a 1-year deal with the Golden State Warriors as well. So shouts out to David West. He got him a ring. He went chase that ring and he got him one. That's shouts out to him. Langston Galloway agreed to a 3-year, $21 million deal with Detroit. JJ Redick agreed to a deal with Philly, so he's on the move. He's going to play in Philly now. 1 year, 23 mil. Damn, 1 year, 23 mil. Man, I just need half of that. I don't even need half. Just give me a quarter of that. Just give me a quarter of that. Man. Amir Johnson agreed to a 1 year, $11 million with the Sixers. Joe Ingles, 4-year, $52 million with the Jazz. Andre Iguodala, 3-year, $48 million with Golden State Warriors. PJ Tucker, 4-year deal with the Rockets, so they picked up another guy, the Rockets. Taj Gibson signed a massive deal. Taj Gibson signed a 2-year, $28 million deal with Minnesota. Minnesota making a run, man. They done got Butler over there. Man, Minnesota making a run. Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka is going to Toronto. Serge Ibaka back in Toronto with a 3-year, $65 million deal. Jordy Meeks, 2-year, $7 million deal with the Washington Wizards. Kyle Korver coming back to the land. He's going back to the land. 3-year, $22 million. 3-year, $22 million. Kyle Lowry. Mike Lowry. Every time I think of him, I think of that. Mike Lowry. But Kyle Lowry going back to the Toronto Raptors on a 3-year deal. He agreed to a 3-year deal with them. Justin Holiday agreed to a 2-year deal, $9 million. I mean, the waiver wire, the transaction wire has been crucial, man. They've been hitting that anybody can get it too. People moving, you're gonna have a bunch of teams with different players, man. Ben McLemore agreed to a 2-year, $11 million with the Grizzlies. Paul Millsaps agreed to a 3-year, $90 million with the Denver Nuggets. So he's gonna be on the move. He's gonna be going to the Nuggets. That's big time for them. So they could have implications on some other players on their team. That's a lot of forwards they got now. It's a lot of forwards they got on that team. Darren Collison agrees to a 2-year, $20 million deal with Indiana. Kevin Durant, 2-year, $53 with Golden State. 2-year, $53, and he really took less. So Golden State was able to retain all of their players because of Kevin Durant took less. So that's big time, man. Sometimes it's good to take that sacrifice and, keep the nucleus of your team together, so to speak. Let's see. George Hill on the move. He agreed to a 3-year, $57 million with Sacramento. So George Hill with Sacramento. Zach Randolph, 2-year Sacramento. They retaining their players. Gordon Hayward was signed and trade, whatever you want to call it. He was signed to a 4-year, $128 million deal with which had ramifications. They had to make salary cap space, and because of that, they got rid of Avery Bradley. I think they got rid of Avery Bradley for Marquise Morris. I like Morris. I'm not gonna lie, Morris. They're kind of the same player. They both got that defensive tenacity, hard-nosed players. So I'm okay with that one. I just feel like Bradley was the heart and soul of the team. Yeah, I know Isaiah Thomas is the man, but I think Bradley was the heart and soul of the team. Let's see. The Atlanta Hawks acquired Jamal Crawford, and they gave up a first-round pick to get him from the Clippers. So you'll see Crawford in a new uniform as well. Patrick Patterson is another guy. He's going to Oklahoma City Thunder on a 3-year, $65 million. So that's a big move for them too. They're putting together a good team over there. They're putting Danilo Gallinari agreed to a 3-year, $65 million deal with the Clippers. So they got rid of Crawford, but they bring in a guy that's similar to him. And like I said, man, that Kyle Korver one, man, that's big time, man. I mean, that Gordon Hayward one is big time. That Kyle Korver one, I'm thinking about that one because I'm a Cleveland fan. But that Gordon Hayward, man, that's big time, man. I'm thinking about that because that's the team that we got to worry about. They was already the Eastern Conference champs, and not champs, but number 1 seed. So they already got a team put together. So we're gonna have to get on them. Nick Young agrees to a 1-year deal with Golden State. So you'll see Nick with Golden State. Dion Waiters is going to the Heat, and that's a good deal. 4-year, $52. That's a good move for them. I like what they're doing, Miami. I like what they're doing. Andre Robertson, like I said, Andre Robertson, $30 million, and they got Patrick Patterson. Andre Robertson is also headed to Oklahoma City Thunder. So Oklahoma City is putting together a worthy team to compete. Kelly Olynyk is also going to Miami. That's why I say I like what Miami's doing. Kelly Olynyk is also going to Miami on a 4-year, $50 million deal. That's big time right there. Kelly Olynyk is leaving Boston, so we'll see how that affects Boston and how that also helps them. Remember, they got the same Whiteside as well, so they're gonna create a little Twin Towers in there. That's big time. Rudy Gay is headed to the San Antonio Spurs. Mark my words, that's going to be big time. You just added another defensive player, one of those guys that's crucially defensive to a great team already. He's going to them on a 2-year, 17 mil plus, and at the ladder of his career to be getting 17 mil plus on a 2-year deal, that just speaks to what he does, and so that's big time. Vince Carter coming back again, man. Vince Carter coming back again. He signed this 1-year, $8 million deal with the Sacramento Kings. So he's coming back. He'll be back with them. That's big time for them. I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna speak too much on it. Like I said, the Boston Celtics traded Avery Bradley, as I already mentioned, for Marquise Morris, however you want to say it. I like that one, man, because I do like the player. Although Boston is the team that I have to worry about because I'm a Cleveland fan, I like that trade, though, man. I do like that trade. Bojan Bogdanovic had signed a 2-year, $21 million with Indiana Pacers, and that was my NBA recap for y'all, man. The free agency wire has been so ridiculous. I just wanted to jump in and do a quick little analysis on it. Let's say Chris Paul trade, that was big time. Gordon Hayward trade was big time. Paul George trade was big time. Taj Gibson signing with Minnesota was big time to me as well. Steph Curry setting a new pace with 200 mil one, and that was big time. Let's see what else. Chris Paul. Those some big time moves, man. Also a lot of big time stuff that went on.
So, you think you know sports? Did you know Jason Williams and Randy Moss played on the same high school basketball team? That's an NBA fun fact.